In this section here, we're going to be going over absolute extrema. Now let's first read this theorem here. The extreme value theorem. If f is a continuous on a closed interval AB, then f has both a minimum and a maximum on the interval. So the key here is we want to make sure that our function is continuous. In the examples that is continuous on this interval here, in the examples that I'm going to give, they're all going to be continuous between A and B. Well, let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off with something really simple, and I'm going to let my function, first off, let's go with black. We're going to define f of x to be x, and we're going to be on the interval between -1 and 1. Alright, so step 1. I'm going to first take the derivative of this function, and the derivative is just clearly 1. And then what you want to do is set it equal to 0 and solve for x. Well, in this particular case, we don't have any critical numbers. Okay, so it wouldn't make sense for us to set this set 1 equal to 0. Okay, so we're going to stop right there because there are no critical numbers. And the critical numbers are the numbers that could possibly indicate where there's a minimum or a maximum. Alright, step 2. Once I've found my critical numbers, which there are no critical numbers here, then what I'm going to want to do is just simply take our endpoints here and plug them into the function. Right, so f of -1 is -1, and f of 1 is easy enough, is 1. Okay, so as you can see here, our minimum is going to occur here. This is the smaller value of the two y values, and this one here is going to be a maximum, and we might want to write that as a point, and that would be right, the minimum point occurs at -1, -1, and the maximum occurs at 1, 1. Now let me see if I can kind of sketch this out so you can get an idea of what we're doing here. So I'm going to let our function be green. Why not? Okay, so -1 is here on the x-axis, and we'll say 1 is here. So when we plug -1 in, we're looking at this point on the graph. We plug 1 in, we're looking at that guy right there, right? So as you can see, we're looking at the y values here, and the smallest y value out on this graph is of course occurring at -1, and the largest y value is occurring at our y value is 1 here. Alright, so you can clearly see this is going to be the absolute maximum point and the absolute minimum point on the graph. Alright, I think we'll just leave it at that. So let's work some ones that have actually got some critical numbers in them.